welcome to part 2 of the final round. Hopefully you've already watched part 1, and if you haven't, do go and check it out. And we are currently 4 races in, 151 points. We're not going to be in intention for P1 because that boat has sailed Jerez with some massive point scoring, some massive improvements this weekend. And we're going to be hopefully battling out with David for P2, potentially maybe P3 or even P4, depending on how we do. But it's 151 points after 4 races as we get going in race number 5, which comes from the very tricky track of Belgium. So here we go then at Spa, and with P1 pretty much out of the question, it just turns to how many points can we get and any learnings to take going forward. So where do we qualify? And it looks pretty good against the rival, P16, P17 this time round. And we're going to do what we always do. We're going to go Merlion, because that just seems like a good boost right now. And I'm going to stick with Copper though on ourselves. So it's going to be the 1-3-2 strategy on potentially Nyck de Vries. And it's going to be a 2-2-2 on Lewis Hamilton. Big points needed. We haven't had any safety cars. And the chances are race start boosts could help me get that perfect start. But Hamilton has only just started to get going. He's only just woke up from his deep slumber. And we are away in P13 and P16. As Hamilton moves up 1 position into P12. So not the worst start in the world. We'll see if we can obviously get some more a bit later on. Let's push there. And let's push both because we'll have Merlion pit stop from de Vries this lap. And we're going to take some positions here very nicely indeed. Hamilton P9. And we're going to cut down this main bit. De Vries has got P14. Now, good on tyres, so let's see if we can use a bit more of that race start. Round the outside we can. And off on to the distance as we do nearly make up to P7. Nyck de Vries coming back out the pits now. He's going to be avoiding all that traffic. And gets off in not a bad spot, I reckon. We're already into P24, right behind the cars ahead. I'm going to push a little bit, see if we can just make up a position or 2. And we're going to pit then with Lewis Hamilton, who's absolutely now flying round. And so is de Vries in P23. So cut down, and that's another move there by Hamilton, who's now sitting quite nicely in P5. And into the pits we come. Can this Merlion boost help us get a few pit stops going? We're trying to push hard, trying to use a bit of that tyre management. These two on the same strategies, but we're all good because Hamilton moves up into P13 and Nyck de Vries there, bang there, P16 as we was P13. Gasly on them soft tyres absolutely flies by us, which is not what we really wanted, but it's okay for now. Where can we get to though? Can we get a move here? We're going to push a little bit. Probably pushed a bit too late there. But we do get 1. Can we get 1 more position down here? Against Nico Hulkenberg. We can. P12. And here comes the pit stops that we are talking about. And why are we so slow off the line there? That's not what we wanted. And we're going to then come round. So, it's looking okay, isn't it, so far? We've got Hamilton flying down there. And we're in P7. What we got ahead of us? A few pit stops. And a P6 position for Lewis. Let's build up that power unit on de Vries. We don't want to double stack here. We're not going to double stack too much though, I must say, as Hamilton looking past P5. Pretty slow car, Carlos Sainz. And we'll take him. And in we will come. From P5. Good race so far. No safety car again though. We really needed a safety car as de Vries comes in. And no double stack, just where can we come out though? P6. We're going to boost obviously down the straight. See if we can just get Lando Norris. Not quite. But De Vries now has a chance, but he's got so much traffic ahead of him that this might come not too good for him as we are trying to get through. Got Bottas in front of us, sitting in that P12 position. And Hamilton all over the back of Norris makes it good move. And we still can't get past Valtteri Bottas. Hamilton is doing okay though. Mercedes, you can see in P4 coming out. And we should be able to get ahead of the Aston Martin that's just coming out now. We can. We're going to push shortly on both drivers. So let's push here on Hamilton. And let's push here on Nick De Vries. We want to get past Carlos Sainz. Can we get the job done? No, we can't. What's Carlos Sainz on? Hard tyres. We finally get him. Like, that took so much longer than it should have done. And now we're on the back of the Mercedes, who we're not going to get, I don't think. But we've put in a fantastic effort. We're going to try and take P7, we do. And it is going to be a very good 39 points. That's all we can take in Belgium. We will happily take 39 points here. Race 6 then comes from Barcelona. A nice track to have, and you can score some big points here. And let's see how many points as a WF1 can score. Needs to be a maximum, I'm afraid, at this stage, especially with the tracks to come and the rivals well ahead. P13, how the hell do they get P13? I will never know. So Nick De Vries, we're going to stick on the potentially Cuppa, I think. Let's stick to Merlion. Why not? Why not? And Cuppa for Hamilton. Hamilton 3-3-2. Nick De Vries 4-4 is the plan of attack. And can that plan of attack come in with some big points? So here we go. No perfect start again, which hasn't hardly ever been today. Or it feels like it hasn't been. And we're not making any places off the start really just yet either. We finally do start making some positions. And we're going to go through the middle of this pack. And currently P12. As Hamilton's fighting himself way through as he can. And now we're starting to get there, but we're not usually making... We usually make a bit more positions than what we have today. So, difficult attempts this GP as Hamilton gets into P9. De Vries down the straight as well. And we'll cut back down with both. We want to be attacking a bit later on. Let's see if we can get Perez though. What are we on? Medium and hard's ahead of us. And, well, we did get Perez, but of course, it didn't stick. And now that didn't stick. Like, what the hell, guys? What's going on? We're still potentially boosting. We've got Norris now in front. De Vries is bang there on the medium tyres. And Hamilton gets past Lando Norris very nicely into P8. He'll be coming into the pits this time round for some soft tyres. De Vries is okay. He's in P11. And in front of him is a bit of a mixture of tyres. Hamilton, P7. He's moving up. And he's got Perez in front of him. Old Checo. And we get the Ferrari too, just for good measure. And we'll be coming into the pits. Nick De Vries is going to start taking some positions. Could have been done by getting Hamilton early on though. That would have been nice. And down the straight he comes. Nick De Vries. Can we start climbing? We're going to boost Hamilton a little bit. Maybe half a lap. Come on, get past Stroll. Finally past Stroll. And then we're going to pit. We'll cut down there. De Vries now up to P4. He's rolling. As here comes Stroll to put us at the sword, but we survive. Hamilton, P11. Trying to get past some more cars. De Vries is coming out. Good little stint for him there, I reckon. Into P9. Well, De Vries has got through. That's not bad work at all. And here comes Hamilton trying to gain back. Past Alonso. And we are all good here. Hamilton now really flying. We've got De Vries into P7. Hamilton will have to come in this lap because of tyres. We're going to just conserve down the straight though. And we've got Carlos Sainz here. And we can't get past still. We're going to try though now. And of course we can't get past again. And of course we still can't get past. Carlos Sainz on the mediums. Come on game. Cut me some slack. As we now get P3. De Vries P6. He is motoring a little bit. It's definitely not going to be 47 points this time around though, I can tell you that. But De Vries could be in a pretty good position here. He's into P3. Hamilton now coming out, gets ahead of the Ferrari. Can we get ahead of the rival? Maybe after the launch we can. Have we got any pit stops ahead? No. And this looks like it's going to be pretty tough to catch back up. We're going to try and see if we can just get Carlos Sainz. We are going to try and get Sergio Perez with the old switcheroo. And we can't get him just yet. So down the straight we go. 64%, let's push. And let's push again on Hamilton. Not going to be 47, no way near. We can potentially get 1 or 2 more places though. We're approaching though Max Verstappen to rob his title. We get it. P1 De Vries. And De Vries will win somehow. Just manages it. We are going to try and get P4. We can get P4. And it is a not bad race at all here. It is going to be 45 points. So we do clutch out 45. Not the 47 we wanted, but we'll take 45 points. So apologies for Austin, but we were recording and we got a phone call halfway through, which meant it absolutely cut off any recording that I had. So apologies about that one. We did score 35 points, just to let you know. And we're back in race 8 for Montreal, starting P17 and P18. I'm going to try something a little bit different, just because we can't get P1 anymore. So I'm going to do the Merlion on both. I'm going to do a 3-3-2 with Nick De Vries and a 4-4 with Lewis Hamilton. Sadly, no safety cars at all through the final round. And we really could have done with that little bit of helping to help us through. So we are off and racing. We've got a real player as well, so good luck to that rival here. Both using Rooster, which is the overtaking and a bit of race start on there as well. And we're going to just pop ourselves through into P15 and 17. And a bit better, P14 now. And we're going to then push out the hairpin. Make sure we see if we can get a good couple of positions. We can get the Alpine and we can get the rival as well. So P12, P15, good start. Nick De Vries into P11. That's all right, that. We're all over the back of K-Mag as well. So De Vries is up for it. Hamilton, we'll see what a 4-4 is like round here. I haven't really done it yet. I've always been doing some odd strategy. So we'll see if that works out pretty nicely. At the minute, P16 though. And we do get De Vries up to P10 with Hamilton all over the back of the AlphaTauri. And it is a sandwich of AlphaTauris so far. De Vries looking at Aston Martin, gets the Mercedes as well. And we're not going to service at this point. And Hamilton making a bit of a queue. Can we get De Vries past Leclerc? Feel like we can just have a pretty chilled 3 laps here. And down we come. So 40% tyres. Power unit coming up. Servicing just hitting 40. And into the pits we come. Now we can push Lewis Hamilton on that 4-4. And it's De Vries who comes out nicely Hamilton in a bunch of traffic, which is not what we want. We're going to hold back on the power unit, see if we can just earn a bit more, because it's going to be pretty chaotic out here at the moment. And De Vries looking pretty nice in P10. We'll cut him back up, and then Hamilton can come into the pits. De Vries 10th, Hamilton in. De Vries 9th now, absolutely making his way through. Hamilton comes back out, and as course cannot get ahead of the cars in front, and we're going to get absolutely stuck behind them as normal. As De Vries is a man on a mission. P7 for Nick De Vries. As we go down the straight, Hamilton gets into P20. And we'll be coming in this lap for Nick, who's into P6, P5. Good going, that. Hamilton's P20. Looks like a bit game over for Hamilton. It's going to be tricky for him to get back up the field. We've got De Vries in P5 all over the back of Alonso now. Servicing's low. We're going to push though anyway. And we get P4. And into the pits. So good work by him. Hamilton's going backwards, which seems to be the order of the day, as we still can't get past Nick De Vries. And out De Vries comes. P7. He's going to be the one bringing us the big points, I think, this time. See if we can get ahead of the rival. We can. We'll start trying to make some positions now. And it's very tricky to do so. De Vries is P5. Trying to get past Ocon. And just get sandwiched out. That 4-4 definitely didn't really work, did it? We are on 30 points at the moment. But not for anything that's useful, because Hamilton has struggled like crazy. Still trying to get past P15 of Tsunoda. Still cannot get past the 15th of Tsunoda. Very poor showing from Hamilton. And he still can't get past. And he then drops places. Absolutely brilliant, Lewis. Well done. Just going backwards. Fair play to you, mate. You've absolutely excelled yourself this weekend. As Hamilton still can't get Gasly. But it's a P4 finish and a P18. Very lowly, 28 points in Canada. So that is the final round complete. We do slot into P2. We couldn't live with Timo Rez this weekend. He gets the P1 to add to his collection. Potentially a P2 with David, ourselves, as a WF1 paddock, filling out the podium places. Still some people to go, so you never know what could happen. But we are removed from P1. And we'll have to settle for a podium. But we'll move on. Potentially, who knows. Next weekend, might not be racing because I will be on holiday. So very slim chance you will see some videos following weekend. But hopefully you can join me if I do upload. Thanks so much for watching. It's been a bit of fun on this final round. And I'll see you in the next one.